Lori Roberts is a columnist for the Arizona Republic newspaper. I want to show you the title of her latest column today. This is about Republican Congressman Paul Gosar and new indications that he has planned a fundraiser at the end of this week with a white nationalist, literally with a far-right activist who advocates for the creation of a whites-only homeland. Roberts' latest column is titled, Paul Gosar is going full-on white nationalist, and the Republican Party's silence is not surprising. Lori Roberts joins us now from Arizona. Ms. Roberts, thanks very much for your time. I really appreciate you making time to be here.
Hi, good to see you.
I feel like a lot of us looking in from the outside at this phenomenon and what's going on with Republicans in Arizona right now are seeing two things. One is the audit, the so-called audit of the presidential election results, which seems to be having certainly making national waves. There's some interesting polling out today which suggests that voters in Arizona may themselves be quite turned off by that. But then there's also this emerging story about Congressman Gosar. We do have a direct parallel. Previous Republican congressman, former Republican Congressman Steve King, who was effectively drummed out of the party for stuff like this. Yet Congressman Gosar hasn't seemed to face any consequences for this stuff at all. From your perspective in Arizona, do you have an explanation for those of us as in a national audience as to how these things fit together and how they're going to work out?
Other than to say this is Arizona, it's very difficult to say. Congressman Gosar is from our most conservative district in the state. But he flies under the radar a lot because he's from a rural area and he really doesn't have a whole lot of power in Congress. So I think that they've been able to sort of ignore him for a while. But I think it's becoming increasingly difficult. First, he appears, as you said, as the keynote speaker, the only sitting member of Congress to do so. Then he tries to form a America First caucus with Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, which he backed off of once we found out that that was going to be about saving America one Anglo-Saxon at a time. Now we have the fundraiser, which he's saying isn't true, isn't happening, but Nick Fuentes certainly thinks that it is. He was on his podcast or live stream, whatever it is, last night, saying that it will be on Friday as a part of his White Boy Summer Tour. It lists, as you mentioned, how to donate to Representative Gosar's campaign. So, as my mom once told me, you're known by the company you keep.
The Arizona audit that we've been covering, lots of people have been covering from a national perspective. It was interesting to see this new polling that was released today. It was written up at Politico.com, showing that among Arizona voters broadly, a politician supporting that audit actually loses their chance of being elected or reelected. That by, I think it was an 11-point margin, Arizona voters would be less likely to vote for a politician who's in support of that audit than they would be for somebody who's not in support of that audit. I have to wonder if that is going to have a sobering effect at all. If that is going to be... No.
No, because if you're a Republican running for office in this state, you must support the audit. You must support Donald Trump. And if you don't, you're not going to get out of a Republican primary. The fact that you're not going to win a general doesn't seem to matter to these people, whether they're in denial or it just doesn't matter. The money keeps coming in. The red meat keeps going out. They're all becoming more well-known. Kelly Ward, our own state Republican Party chairwoman, is now a national figure. They're all getting something out of it. But I think there's going to be a huge blowback for the Republican Party, a huge reckoning coming in 2022.
Lori Roberts, columnist for the Arizona Republic. Thank you for your time and your perspective on this tonight. I feel like we're all very, very much dependent on you and other close observers of these phenomena in Arizona to make sense of them at the national level. I'm grateful for your time.
Thank you.